Dallas
Mm-hmm.
really only had to worry about one scorer. If you could slow down
Right.
SGA, you cut off OKC at the knees. If you
Okay.
could force Anthony Edwards into a bad shooting night, outside of Nas Reed and Jaden Daniel, there wasn't anybody else on
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota for you to fear. Whereas with Boston, if Jason Tatum has a bad game, Jalen Brown can get you. If Jalen don't get you,
Right.
Derek White could hit 4 threes. You know what I mean? Like if Derek White is off,
Right.
Drew Holiday will get some timely steals, some rebounds. If that ain't working, Horford could hit 3 or 4 threes. Porzingis is back. Like
Back
so
to
it just
back.
goes on and on. So where Dallas had an advantage was let me stop the star and we'll keep ourselves in these games. But Boston can beat you so many different ways that I don't know if Dallas
Exactly.
can match, because I feel Dallas needs Kyrie and Luca, not to be perfect per se, but you know what I
Right.
mean? But they can't afford off nights because I don't know if PJ Washington can save the day.
Yeah.
Is
So
the my question would be, the main question I'll say is, does Boston come into this better prepared far as conditioning because they didn't have to play as many games compared to the fact that the Mavs had to go down. They played a game 7 at one point. They played games, what was it, game 5. They did a
Hmm.
game, so
And then
they
they
played
went,
more games
yeah, they went
than
six,
Boston.
6, and then 5. Um,
5. Does
so
the
I
does the conditioning matter? Like how Ant got tired eventually, like the whole Wolves team got tired eventually. Does
no
that
because I
impact
think
them the
no
same
because
way?
no because I think that the time off has helped Luca.
Mm.
Because Luca had the knee issues. He was bleeding everywhere. So I think the time off helps him as much as it helped Boston. But I think that where Dallas has an advantage to what you're talking about is Dallas has had to play playoff basketball. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like Boston's had it easy, say, they had the easiest path and, all that stuff like that. But, but Boston had an easier time to where Boston, to some degree, has been able to coast. Like even when they were playing against Indiana, they knew that Indiana couldn't close out the game. So they could kind of lack around a little bit and just turn it on late. Whereas Dallas has had to be in playoff mode, execute late, 3 minutes or less, make stops.
So
So that's
for
where
sure.
Dallas will have the advantage, if the game is close late.
so regardless of how it would happen, if the
Uh-huh.
Celtics face a potential loss, regardless of how it happens, regardless of who performed, who didn't perform, are we automatically looking for to break up the core, or are we looking to change the coach? The first thing.
If I'm the Celtics, no, but I am like 2-5 is,
Right.
like like if I'm Boston, I look at this and like you said, it depends on how it happens. Can I look back at this and say, hey, if Porzingis was fully healthy,
Right.
I mean he's playing, but I don't know how healthy he is, his minutes or whatever. So if Porzingis can only give you say 17 to 21 minutes a game, can I look back and
Yeah.
say, you know what, if Porzingis was healthy, we dominate that series. Um,
Oh,
if
good
Jalen
player that.
Brown comes out, if Jalen Brown comes out and averages 26, Tatum averages 29, but then Luca averages 30, Kyrie averages 28, and Dallas wins, it's kind of like, well, you win some, you lose some, I guess.
Does the blame
You know,
automatically go to Tatum if Boston does not win it? Like, do they
yes,
do? Does he like he just gets all blame regardless? Like,
yes,
no matter how they lose, if they lost it,
yes,
he just solely gets all the blame.
yes. That's the way it works as a superstar. And that I agree
For
with
sure, for
we
sure.
do things. around him, averaging triple doubles in the finals, and we were like, look at him acting like a bitch on the sideline, even though J.R. Smith messed up the play. You know what I mean? Or like, when Golden State lost in the finals, we were like, yo, I don't care that KD and Clay went down. Like, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so it just comes with the territory. Now, obviously, we'll have a deeper conversation, where we're like, well, hey, Drew Holiday didn't show up, like, whatever, like they couldn't stop
Yeah,
Kyrie. That's not on Jason Tatum because Jason Tatum's probably not guarding Kyrie,
right.
but as far as the media and the people on TV that talk about sports, they're probably going to say, is Jason Tatum overrated? Did we crown him too soon? So on and so forth, because they're lazy.
Right.
So we hate bringing up these things, but I have to ask you. It's a two-part question, but it's all one question. Is this a Mavericks team that the Celtics should be looking at as they have every chance to beat us, that we have to beat them? We might be
Absolutely.
favored,
Mm-hmm.
but this team is just as good, if not better, than we are. But we are considered
The super
the
team.
super team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And part two of that is, if we were to lose to the Mavericks, would it be the same as LeBron and Wade and company losing to a European-led Mavericks?
The Dirk
First,
Nowitzki squad.
first question, absolutely. You should look at every opponent that way. You know what I mean? That's how you save yourself from letdowns and lack of effort, complacency, all that stuff like that. But also, like, you had Kyrie on your team before, so you fully know what he's capable of, if nothing else.
Right.
And we see the highlight, we see the shot against Golden State played in highlight packages, and you're going to see it all night during or all week during the finals or whatever. So absolutely, you should view Dallas as a team that can beat you, especially since the trade deadline when Dallas made these moves. Dallas has the number one ranked defense in the NBA. So,
Mm.
so you should absolutely view Dallas that way. As far as part two, I would say no, because
Mm.
Dirk was for the most part, Dirk was a one-man wrecking crew. I
You don't
feel,
give Vincent Terry no
well, I was
cred.
about to say that. I was about to say that. Like if you use your 2-5 brain, like two, you know what I mean? 2-5 actually feels like Jason Terry was the Finals MVP of that series. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Dirk gets the credit because he's the superstar. He was the feel good story, lifetime achievement award. But I feel like Jason Terry won that series as much as Dirk did. But I don't view it the same way because that Dallas team was old and on their way out. Jason Kidd was almost 40. Sean Marion was a little bit older. This Dallas team is youthful. Lively is a rookie. You know, PJ
Gafford's
Washington
pretty
is
young.
only in his like fourth or fifth year, and he came from Charlotte. So these are young, hungry cats that they have arrived, if you will. Whereas that Dallas team that you're talking about before, this was like, no pun intended, but this was their last dance.
No, I definitely feel that. So, and honestly, I think Hardaway might be the senior member of the Mavericks,
He
if I'm not
absolutely
mistaken.
is, and that's the key.
So,
Is he going to play? Is he going to get minutes? Is he going to be
Man, I don't
effective?
see it. I don't see it. He ain't been getting no real minutes especially in the finals. He ain't getting
But
the
this is the
conference.
problem, though. But this is the problem. Going back to what I was saying earlier, when you look at Minnesota, you had Anthony Edwards, and then all the other threats were big. As
mhm.
far as 6'9" and up or whatever. I don't know how tall Nas Reed is, but they were basically like 6'8" to 6'9" and up. Whereas against Boston, are what Jalen Brown's probably 6'7", 6'8". Tatum 6. You know what I mean? So you might need Hardaway in Exum for defensive minutes. Just to
Right.
have extra bodies to throw at Tatum and Brown and keep PJ Washington, Derek Jones Jr., keeping them fresh.
So, who do you think tonight is more poised to play the JJ Barea savior role for the Dallas Mavericks?
That's tough. That's
um,
tough. It
to
would
be
have to be
honest, yeah, it would have to be somebody like a Hardaway.
I think it's what
Right?
guarding
Like
Tatum. Who do you think will guard Tatum? Yeah, go ahead.
starting out, I think it's going to be PJ Washington. Just
Mm-hmm.
from pause from a body being able to bang
Right.
on Tatum because Derek Jones might just be too small, but he might be too small. PJ Washington, and this might be one of those deals where you just say, you know what, when you're on the floor, you're attached to him, and we just live with
Yeah.
the results because I think Jason Tatum falls in the category of there are certain players that I look at and say I can live with him scoring 40 because that means that everybody else isn't involved.
Right.
So I would rather Jason Tatum score 40 than say, well, let me back up. I would rather Jalen Brown score 40 because he may have taken a lot of shots to do it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But
I can see that.
you
Yeah.
know, but if Tatum scores 40, how many assists does he have? Because he's still the facilitator. Everything still plays off of what he's doing. So if he's having a bad game, that makes it easier for the opposing defense.
Does Luca need to average a triple double to win
No,
these finals?
no, but I think if you're Boston, you want same thing. You want him to average a triple double. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
You
You
want him to
want
get.
you, yeah, you want Luca. Like I brought up Lou Dort when they were playing OKC, and
mm-hmm.
Dakota Mike was laughing at me, but but the whole point was Luca can score 30. He's going to score 30, but can I hold him to 11 for 29 or something like that?
Mm.
Versus going 12 for 21 or 12 for 22 or something like that. Can I force Luca? You're going to get your points. Just like if you look back at last year's finals, the one game that Miami won was the game where Jokic scored 40.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he wasn't getting everybody else involved. So you want Luca. You don't want Kyrie to do it because
Mm.
Kyrie is efficient enough, to make it happen. And Kyrie, you're not necessarily looking for Kyrie to set everybody else up. Like the Mavericks go as Luca goes. So, if Luca's out here scoring, if he's out here getting triple doubles, and that's where Boston's lineup comes into play. Because if I have Horford and Porzingis out there at the same Gafford and Lively, or Gafford or Lively line on the 3-point line instead of at the basket. You know
Mm.
what I mean?
Right.
So when it comes to rebounding defensively, the big men are already out of position.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And I just opened the floor for Tatum and Brown to get to the basket at will because there's only little resistance used to me saying through NBA. So this is the NBA where everybody shoots threes. 15, if you're down 15, everybody's taking threes. So this is where Boston
It's true.
needs to assert themselves, pull Gafford and Lively out of the paint, and then Tatum and whoever can get to the basket whenever they want.
So whoever has the better 3-point percentage is going to win this finals.
Yeah, because I mean we've seen Boston go. I think in the last game against Indiana, they went 14 for 40. They were able to win because Indiana was inexperienced. They didn't have Halliburton, so down the stretch, they couldn't execute their offense, the way that they would normally. Whereas against Dallas, you're not going to run into that. Kyrie was built for this. Luca will close you out and tell you to go home, bitch.
We
You know what I'm saying? So
he got that Dirk in him, bro. He got that Dirk
yeah,
trash talk.
yeah,
And
they
my
built for
dog,
this.
my dog, Dallas
Mike,
Mike, the Mike,
Mike
DJ,
P.
Mike P. Tap
It's
what
the
it what
finals.
it do?
It's the finals.
A
It's
week
the
is the
motherfucking
finals.
finals, Dallas
I'm
Mike.
so I'm
Yeah.
so honored. I'm so honored to have Ice Cube join us.
Come on,
What up,
brother.
though?
Man. So
You know,
so
you look.
so
You know
two
how we
five
do it.
so 2-5 in Dallas Mike.
Yay. Now what's up?
The Utah Jazz, though they never won a ring, and they've
uh,
been to one finals. They still had they've been to two finals. I apologize. They still had John Stockton himself still had, I believe, 19 consecutive seasons with a playoff berth. When we
mhm.
talk
Yeah.
about these Celtics, when we talk about these Boston Celtics, all we talk about is the last 6 of 7 years, the last 4 out of 5 years. We've made a finals, we've made the ECF, blah, 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 blah. And we've also talked about the tipping point between keeping the core together and doing what we have to do to be able to push ourselves over the hump. Are the Boston Celtics a team where they take the Utah approach and they swap out players like Havlicek and things like that, but they keep Malone and they keep John Stockton? Or are we looking to switch out our stars in order to get final success?
I mean,
Go
to
ahead,
me,
Mike.
I think I like the correlation between y'all and the Utah Jazz because I'm always a firm believer in building. Like I just watch teams. You gotta learn how to fail before you win. So you see teams that fail and they
Yep.
don't make it. They finally kind of get over the hump. Is because they learn how to win. You have to learn how to win. Winning is an attitude. Winning is something that you can't just manufacture. You have to try to grow to it. So
Straight
to me
up.
personally, I think you already kind of see that with Derek White. Like if I'm Brown and I'm Tatum, I'm looking over my shoulder like, okay, what is this thing, what is the organization trying to show us, so to speak? Like I think they would shit one of their ass off and keep Derek White and keep Holiday and build after that, and they already got Porzingis. You know what I'm saying? So to me personally, I would have an eye on my shoulder, like, all right, you know, not just I don't trust Derek White. I'm just saying, as far as team building, you just don't know. These teams are different, man. Teams do wild shit every day.
No, I definitely feel you. I definitely feel that. So you were saying, as opposed to looking at our stars, you're looking at keeping the role players that we have and filling out with another star.
Yep.
Okay, 2-5. What say you, my brother?
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a different approach. Like I like what Mike said, but instead of Dirk White, I think Drew Holiday falls under the Bill Belichick. Do I get rid of him a year early versus a year late?
Right.
Okay.
Because he's already 34, so he's more of a defender these days than he is an offensive player, even though he can still get hot from time to time. So how long can he play defense at this level?
Right.
Horford just turned 38, so his sunset is coming.
Yeah.
Be time
Yeah.
for him point, out ahead of that. And I think Brad Stevens has done a good job with the team setup. You got Peyton Pritchard in the wings. You can
Yes.
get an upweight. They started. They had Livingston. They had Barbosa. And eventually you had to move on, but you kept Draymond, Clay, and Steph. So I think you already have your big three,
Build the
and
depth.
they're all still in their
Build the
20s.
bench up.
I think Porzingis is like 29 or 30. So your big three is there for the next 3 to 4 years at least.
And who do you
But do
think
you
that
think
is?
cap wise, how's that going to affect them? Like, so you're going to pay two guys over $3 million?
I mean, I mean, why not? At this point, because whoever else you bring in to replace one of them, you're gonna have to
ain't
pay
gonna
them,
match it, and they probably not gonna match the same stat line as everybody as what you already had in the building. You know what
right?
I'm saying?
And you got to rebuild chemistry, that they already have.
But
So from that,
imagine the package they can give a Tatum. Imagine the
oh,
package.
definitely, oh, definitely, definitely.
Imagine the Hall, 27 years old. He's 26
But
now,
is
but
it worth
27
it?
going into next year.
Is it worth it
Imagine
though?
the
Is it
Hall.
worth
That's,
it?
yo, I'm telling you.
Is it worth it though? That's the question. Like, is it worth
If they win
Boston
it all,
going
if they
through
win it all
all?
this year, it is.
But see, I mean, so
But
so
look at the
so Boston.
position. I'm sorry to cut you off too, Five, but look at the position we're in, though. We're talking about two of the bro. Jason Tatum is hands down a top 5 wing. Jaylen Brown is for sure a top 5 two guard, in my opinion. A top
Mhm.
5 two guard in the league. How many other top 5 players at their respective positions are we talking about potentially moving teams? And not even potentially moving teams, but being traded, not because they're at free agency, but because we're trying to make moves to progress the team. So we're talking about trading all world players. What return could we get back for a Jason Tatum unless we're talking about a top 7 to top 10 player in return at their position?
Yeah, I mean,
Well, it just depends,
yeah, I mean, the
because
guys
I
y'all
don't want no
mentioned.
draft. I don't want a
like
draft pick for
if
Jason Tatum.
well, I
No,
mean,
not no draft.
if
That's my
you're
player.
looking at Jason Tatum, right? Um, no, 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 I know, but I'm just like if you're looking at Jason Tatum and he's close to the end of his contract, or he's going to be a free agent, or he's coming close to that, you ain't giving up the backyard for him. You know what I mean? Because you're like, hey, if the tea leaves say that Boston is trying to get rid of him, especially in this age that we live in where everything leaks, you're not going to give up all that stuff for Jason Tatum.
Because
Because
they
Boston
gotta
wouldn't
get
have
they
any
gotta
leverage
pay
in
him
that
right.
situation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you're forcing Boston on a sign and trade, first of all, you know what I mean? Because they don't want to let him walk for nothing.
Right.
And then you have to survey the rest of the East, right? Because, like, over in Milwaukee, you got Dame and Giannis. What do they do with Chris Middleton? What do they do with Bobby Portis? So on and so forth.
Hmm.
Brooke Lopez is 35. You look at the Knicks, you're going to have Randall coming back off an injury, but Adenobi's a free agent. So, if he doesn't sign with the Knicks, you're probably not so concerned with them. Cleveland is in turmoil. Like, are they going to keep Donovan Mitchell? Are they going to trade Garland? So
Right.
the East is so unstable right now that
We
you may
have no
not even
choice
have to
but
go there.
yeah, I feel like we have no choice but to run it back just because of the state of the state of the East as it stands. We have a team that's going to be able to compete for the finals. We just want to be able to beat the Western team. So
Hmm.
it's like how much longer can y'all foresee us knocking at the door and not getting through in a weak East?
I'd say at least another year, at least next season, because, like, looking at the East today, as we sit here having this conversation right now,
Mm-hmm.
what team in the East besides Milwaukee, since they already have Dame and Giannis, what team could make a move that makes Boston go, oh shit? Like,
Either
maybe the
bringing
Knicks, maybe.
either helping Trey Young or helping Joel Embiid and Maxi.
But I think Trey Young needs too much help though. Like, so
I
like
think he
like
might be the
no,
one.
no, I know, but I'm just saying, like, hypothetically, let's say Atlanta keeps Trey Young.
Yeah,
Like, Atlanta is more than one player away. You know what I mean? Like,
truly are.
even if Atlanta, I mean, obviously this would never happen, but just for the sake of conversation, even if Atlanta got Giannis
Yeah,
and Trey Young together, they're still not there.
I don't think so either. And
You
I
know what I
like Trey
mean?
Young, more than I like Dame at this stage.
right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, so they wouldn't even be there. So like, really, the only team is the Knicks because when I look at Miami, are they even keeping Jimmy Butler?
Mm.
I see Jimmy leaving and going to Philly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
They
so
said he was
now,
going. They said he was going to come back to Philly.
but even with Philly, right? You could look at Philly and say, all right, Maxey is coming into his own. They added Jimmy Butler, and we've seen Jimmy Butler lead teams to the finals. But is Embiid even going to be on the floor?
Is that Maxie's team now? Would that be
No,
Would you?
no.
Are you would still
No,
let it be Embiid's team right now?
I
for
mean, he
sure.
still put up 50 on a bum knee.
He's the process. If I'm in B, I'm just telling Embiid
But
to
he
go ahead and rest.
that's what, but that's what I'm saying. Is it time for Embiid to just shut it down in general?
No, it might be time for Embiid to ask for a trade.
Wow.
Could be.
And go where? And go to the Knicks. Go
Yeah,
down to New York.
yeah.
Ball with Bronson and them.
I mean,
I would like to see
obviously,
that. That's the only
I mean,
way. I
obviously
would.
Philly, obviously Philly wouldn't trade him to the Knicks. I wouldn't think, at least,
I
but
mean, why not? They got. I mean, they
Unless they get back Julius Randle and one of the Villanova guys.
that ain't enough.
No, they're gonna need more than that.
That's all. Why is that? Why is it not? Why is it not? Embiid is
He's part.
on. Would you?
This is the
And
process,
is he
dog.
not? Is he not on his last leg though?
He is, but he just won an MVP last year. He damn near led the league in free throws this year, even though he missed like 30 games.
And
You know what I
40-point
mean?
games.
He came back on a bad wheel. Like I said, scored 50 in a playoff series, like in a playoff game. You know, so the health is the only issue. With like taking away the health issue, he's a top three player in the league. You know what I mean?
Easy,
Like with
easy.
with with health, he could be number one.
Yeah,
You know what I
You'll
mean?
still
So
take him
like,
over Jokic?
yeah.
no, I wouldn't. But
A healthy Embiid, and a
I
healthy Jokic, a prime Embiid. You'll still take Jokic over Embiid.
I would, just because I've been watching these two dudes for the last 5 years, and as great as Embiid is, and he had James Harden on his team, he had Jimmy Butler on his team, and he still hasn't made a conference finals.
And he had 19 points a game. Ben Simmons at one point.
Yeah, so like, you know what I mean?
Simmons.
And Jokic,
The protector.
Just saying.
Jokic is such a mismatch as far as getting everybody involved and being able to run the offense through him. Whereas if Embiid's shots not falling, there's a lot left to be desired.
Well, I think that Embiid suffers from the same thing Carl and the Town suffers from. They want to be small forwards.
Right,
If Embiid was to commit to being a real big man, nobody in the league can stop him at
right,
all.
right.
Even his mid range, like if he would commit to that shit, it's like, yo, I'm drop stepping, I'm coming with the hook shot off the left foot on the right foot. Like there's nobody can stop him in the NBA. He chooses to do all that
So
goofy ass shooting threes and shit. That shit's stupid.
So back to the Celtics, because I'm really trying to get to the bottom of this, fellas. Malone and Stockton worked very well because they were big and little. Kobe and Shaq worked very well because they were big and little. Do y'all see the Celtics potentially, like, because again, nobody had success like Jordan and Pip, but those guys were two wings, technically. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? So we have two wings.
right.
How can you see us? Because and again, we know it takes a while because Jordan didn't win his first until 28. All of our guys are like 26, 27 right now.
Hmm.
But how is it, Art, that we are going to push forward? And I know I've asked it before, but I'm just like, what kind of roster shuffles can we see? Can y'all see? Because I guess I didn't get a clear answer first. Can y'all see Tatum and Brown being lifelong Celtics trying to figure it out? Or do you see them being lifelong only after they push through?
No,
That's my
there is
point.
no
I made that
lifelong
already.
anymore.
Yeah,
There
no,
is no
nobody's doing
lifelong.
that shit.
Yeah.
No, that's not gonna happen. 19 years, like they never missed the playoffs ever in their careers. That's not gonna happen ever again. Like they're not gonna play with one team that long because for one, people are impatient. They are look how they critique Tatum already, and the nigga averaging 30 some points a game. They, like he's lived in the playoffs his whole career, him and Brown, and look how they talking about the man. Look how they talking about
Well,
Brown not being marketable and shit. Like who wants to deal with that? And a lot
well,
of that shit be the daggone team putting that shit out.
yeah, we saw Kyrie win a championship and pretty much be like, "Yo, I want out of here."
Yeah,
You
literally,
know what I
I'm
mean?
good.
So you
Because
know what I
he,
mean?
All that
Like,
shit
but
is,
because he
give me all
wanted, but Kyrie wanted his own. He wanted to be Batman,
you
and he
don't
didn't
think
want
Jalen
to at the
Brown wants to be?
at the
Come
but
on
at
now.
the time, but at the time, I feel like Jalen Brown needs Tatum more than what we say what we really want to say because everybody say Tatum needs Brown more, but I feel like Jalen
Yeah,
needs
yeah. I was
Tatum
just
more.
about to ask you, do you think that Tatum needs Brown more than Brown needs Tatum?
I feel like Brown needs Tatum more than Tatum needs Brown.
Bro, when it was a
And
racer top Jalen Brown, it was Kyrie and Jason Tatum team. And then when we got to the Eastern Conference Finals and Jason Tatum still had the low cut and he was yamming on Braun in crunch time, putting up 50s, and we was losing, bro. It
Yeah,
wasn't really, it wasn't really Tatum and Brown
uh-huh.
until like 2021.
Well, the
because like them
problem
raggedy
is,
ass braids in.
the problem is I think you need to perform a lobotomy because if I could put Jalen Brown's brain into Jason Tatum, then the Celtics might finish the deal. You know, because
Yeah,
you brought up Jordan and Pippen, right? And the problem is that I feel like Jalen Brown has the Jordan brain and Tatum has the Pippen brain.
yeah.
Mm.
I feel like Tatum was like that at Duke. He wasn't real assertive. That's why we didn't win the championship. Like it's like
Hmm.
he left some on the table to me. Like he always kind of leave you like damn, like he played really well, but you need him to get that killer gene, that killer instinct. Like man, I'm saying the next 5 possessions, give me the ball. Ain't no you getting the ball, nigga. You know, like that's what I love about Russell Westbrook. If he was more efficient, it would translate to winning. But you gotta be more efficient when it comes down to getting the ball, shooting the ball multiple times. And I think
Right.
again, if Tatum was to commit to that, get to the free throw line, like 2 5 says, stop shooting them step back threes and turn around. You know, like nigga, what are you doing? Like this shit, it be like it just like put your head down, put it on, get fouled, or simple.
And that's why I always bring up
We lose you, Dallas Mike. I
that's
still
why
got you two
I
five.
yeah, I'm here. That's why I always bring up Westbrook and Durant, you know, because Durant was obviously the better player of the two. Like Russ was the heart of the team, but
For
Durant was probably
sure.
the better
For
player
sure.
of but
Sure.
Russ was the one that was like, get out the way, back up, let me do
Yeah.
this. KD, you never
I
saw
got this.
KD.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never saw
Be the
KD say,
alpha.
give me the
Yeah.
ball. And that's
For
what I'm
sure.
looking for with Jason Tatum, is that he's the
Mm.
better player than Jalen Brown.
So
You know what I mean?
give me the ball. Give me
But
Yeah,
back. And that's what I was saying to Reds on the last. I was like, Tatum needs to that whole like if he goes out and try to win the MVP finals, they gonna lose. I'm like, but that's the type of nigga he has to be for
For
them
them
to
to win
win.
anyway.
but that's
You
not but
know,
that's not his mindset, so it wouldn't work because he would only do it in spurts. He probably wouldn't do it, or he would do it in say game two, but then we would be on here by the time game five comes around and be like, where's that Jason Tatum from game two?
but
exactly.
I think he's tired. I think he's even tired of hearing the bullshit. Like, and
I hope so.
I think that's why the fact that they gave Jalen Brown the conference MVP joint is more
Hmm.
it's set up for Tatum to be like, all right,
But see, but that's the
I'm here to
problem,
steal
right?
the
Because
show.
Mike brought that up about how Tatum was averaging 30, but he's still getting criticized or whatever. And
Mhm.
part of that is because Jalen Brown was the one that made the late plays. Or, Jason Tatum got a lot of those points while Boston had the game in control, but Jalen Brown was the one steering the ship, if you will. You know what I mean? Like Jason Tatum got a lot of those points late. So if you just look at the stat sheet, you're like, yo, Jason Tatum balled out. You know what I mean? But Jalen Brown was the one that hit the three in game one against Indiana. Jalen Brown was the one that found Derek White for the game winner in game four. Like Tatum isn't the one making these plays that, for lack of better words, in winning time.
Well,
And
just about this season, how many situations have we been in where the game is coming down to the wire? Like we're winning.
But this
We're
is even
winning a
all
lot of
through the
our games.
regular
that's a
season,
good
though.
point. That's a
Like,
good point.
but this is all. But this is even all through the regular season, though. Like I remember a couple of months ago, me and you got into an argument because I posted Jason Tatum's clutch stats this season, and I was like, "How can he be my MVP or whatever?" We were talking about that, and
Yeah.
it wasn't because I was shitting on Jason Tatum. It was just more so the standpoint of, if we were talking about other MVP candidates, that would be something that would be used against them. Like looking at Jokic, right? For example, you're like, hey, Jokic is the man. He's what stirs the drink for Denver. But game on the line, Jamal getting that ball. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
Milwaukee, when they won the title, and Mr. South Carolina just joined us, he knows it was Chris Middleton closing that shit out.
Yes, it
It,
was.
it wasn't Giannis. So that's where we are with Jason Tatum, is like, you're the man, but you're not the one closing it out. Like Mamba mentality, you know what I'm saying? But you looking like Kobe against Utah instead of Kobe against Phoenix.
Damn.
Exactly.
Mm.
That's
Mm.
a fifth act. And to me,
So
it's setting it up for him to go ahead and take care of business. What's up?
what you say, that Mike?
Now, I would just, and to me, it just show he got to take care of business. Just like
Mm-hmm.
you have to lock in, you have to understand it. That's what takes a player that's been good to a player that becomes great. You got to lock in
Mm-hmm.
every single game. It can't be these ebbs and flows like, 1 minute he's scoring 25 and then he's going for 35. Like, no, it got to be 30 consistent. You can't go like that's what I see Luka do that. Like, you're not gonna
And,
see Luka
and,
come out and score 12 points in the game. That shit not gonna
and
happen.
yeah, but before I let Residente in here, I'm gonna just say this last thing real quick. Like, that's what happened against the Warriors. Jason Tatum would come out, score 27 points, and then the next game he'll score 13, and we were like, he's young. This is their first finals. That shit's out the window now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you gotta lock in,
it
bro.
is.
Well, I mean, because I feel like everybody, what I'm saying, as far as NBA, we don't really judge them because they don't really get into the zone until like their fourth or fifth year, you know what I'm saying, after being young in the beginning
Mm-hmm.
process. So it's like, this is about that time anyway that he's supposed to be capitalizing on this stuff now, you know what I'm saying? So here's his
Yeah.
real opportunity to start
Mm-hmm.
really capitalizing like he's supposed to.
And that's really all I've been saying this whole time. I was like, bro, the Mavs cannot get one on us in their first go round, bro. Bro. I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. Because we supposed to be the ones that was like, we've been here before. We got the experience. It's our time to break through. Then if the Mavericks fuck around and do this shit, everything we've been building to this point would be in vain, in my opinion,
Oh,
bro.
get him, Residente. I know you got something for us.
You know, I got something for you. So the problem with the entire discussion around the Celtics is it's not about the Celtics at all. Y'all are making it about Jason Tatum, and as long as that's the conversation, y'all will lose. I've said this. I've said this repeatedly. If the Celtics are going to beat the Mavericks, it's going to be a team win.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Tatum will not be shooting fadeaway threes. He'll be driving the ball to the basket because he's 6'10", and he can move. He can get to the basket anytime he wants. If you watch, like, when they actually show highlights of Jason Tatum, look at what they show highlights of Jason Tatum doing. Driving to the basket.
Mm-hmm.
He does not have a good enough field goal percentage for him to shoot the amount of threes that he shoots. But he shoots mad threes, which means that you live and die by the three. And most times when you live and die by the three, you die.
So you missed that part. I said that like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, so like if he's going to the bucket, good things happen. But we saw that one game where Jason Tatum had 27 at halftime and scored 5 points the rest of the game. Like, if that stuff's happening, y'all will lose. Now, the bell cow though, the true arbiter of how good or badly the Celtics will be doing is Jalen Brown. And I know y'all don't like hearing that, but it's the
Not Gumby,
truth.
my nigga. Not Gumby.
It's the truth. It is
I don't think
100%
so.
the truth. Dog,
I don't
look
think so.
at look at the numbers.
He's not the
He shoots.
barometer. It's like saying Pippen was the driving force of the Bulls. That shit makes no sense.
Did Pippen average 27 points a game?
Never.
Okay, so then that's not at all the right comparison.
So we saying that Jalen Brown is better than Tatum.
No,
I'm just
I'm
curious.
saying
I'm just
no.
trying to know what you're saying here.
The point I've always made is that Jalen Brown is as good as Tatum, and people want to make it seem like there's this big gap between the two of them. It's not.
So it's a 1A is an A and
It's
1A.
1A, 1B. That's why Jalen Brown doesn't make $300 million because he's a decent player on that team. The
Okay.
Celtics know what they got.
A lot of NBA
So
players making
That's
a
why.
lot of
Look,
money
that's
though.
what I said.
No,
What I
no,
Yeah,
said.
the,
no,
yeah,
no, no, no.
the
Stop,
difference
stop,
between the
stop, 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 stop. Only one player in the league makes $300 million. $300 million contract. Only one. Don't
Rez
tell me
is
about
the
a lot of
same
players.
person that
Don't tell me about
said
a lot of players.
that
Don't tell me about a lot of
Jalen Brown
players.
would go to probably
Yeah.
2 or 3 teams in the league and be the number one option. Every other team, he not gonna be no number one option. He
He
was
would be
the
the number one.
most.
why wouldn't he be?
Why wouldn't he be?
Y'all,
What?
all right, bro.
Why wouldn't he
Like
be?
so look to Rez's point, right? To Residente's point. Like, do you think that the gap between Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown is the gap between Dame and CJ McCollum?
Do you think the gap between Jason Tatum and
Jalen Brown is better
Jalen
than
Brown
McCollum.
is the gap that was between LeBron and Kyrie when they were together?
They're two different beings though.
We're talking
No,
about the
no, but
gap.
just no,
We're
but
talking
just
about
the
the
gap
gap,
between how elite they are.
and that's y'all's problem. That's why y'all. That's why you keep losing. That's why I'm telling you, if Jason Tatum comes out ball hogging, trying to jack up a bunch of shots, y'all will lose. I'm telling you.
That's not even his game or his mindset. You got to stay true to yourself. You got 64 wins. You know what I mean? Like,
Get
you're
to
12 and
the
2 in the
bucket.
playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Do what you do.
Get to the bucket. This is not time to show your wide array of shot making ability.
See, Adam, I don't even know why y'all say stuff like this. Like, I could say that about 90% of the NBA. You know what I mean? There's only one LeBron that you could put on a team, and or a Giannis,
Exactly.
that you could put on these teams
Doug, hold
and
on, wait, wait,
not
wait.
be.
Hey, yo, wait. So you have to put a lot of players around him. Jason Tatum, who y'all say there's a big wide gap of how much better he is, needs all those players, including Jalen Brown, to be as good as he is. Stop.
So let me
You
ask y'all. Okay, I got you.
We've
So
been
so
doing
people
this.
at least.
We've
You
been
need
doing
two
this
people at least, bro.
with,
so
bro. We've
Cuffs.
been doing this with a
Jason
carousel of niggas.
Tatum needs Jalen Brown.
So we've had the same teams. We've had the same, and Jalen Brown was the same 26-point nigga he was when Kyrie was there.
No, but he's improved though. No, he
Doug,
wasn't, but he's
no,
improved.
he wasn't. And why would he be? Because he had Kyrie on the team.
All right, bro.
Everybody
So
scoring average went up when Kyrie left. What are you talking about?
I'm just
can,
saying.
can
I'm just
Boston
saying.
can Boston win
You
this
said
series?
Jason Tatum needs all this support. We've had a carousel of niggas in there, and
All
it's
of them
been the
need
same
support.
result. Knock the fucking
Everybody
door
needs
off the
support. Nobody's an island. Everybody needs support.
Can Boston win this series without Porzingis at least playing 30 minutes a game?
Can
Bruh,
Boston win this
we
series if Jalen Brown averages 10 points a game?
No.
I mean that's too low of a number.
He's 1 year
15.
younger, Adam. 1 year younger.
15. 15. 15. If he
No.
averages 15 points a game, do they win? No.
No.
Y'all need Jalen Brown to be as good as Jason Tatum or better. That's my point. With all that
So
talent around them.
my
But we
question
said
is
Tatum's the guy. Like, nobody said
if
Tatum isn't the guy.
that's what I'm saying. If Tatum come out here and actually and gets and do drop 40, you know what I'm saying, or averages 35,
Then we're going to say good
and you
job.
If I'm
and
Dallas,
he
I want Tatum to drop 40 every night.
If I'm
you
Dallas,
know
I absolutely want to drop a 40. I absolutely want to drop a 40. Because that means he's taking 30 shots.
He could be just getting to the free throw line. Y'all act like
No,
that
no,
he
no, no,
had.
no.
That's
No,
not
no,
what he
that's not his
does.
game. That's not his game.
That's what we want him to do.
But that's what I'm saying. He could easily get 40 and probably go and get most of that from the line.
But this is the problem. He can do that for a game. Can he do it tomorrow?
He will not do it in the series.
How y'all know he won't do it this series?
What
We
series have you seen him do it in?
This might be the series. That's what I'm
What? No, no,
saying.
no, 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 no. No, 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 no. Pass his prologue, my guy.
Hey,
Pass his prologue.
remember the other night when we were talking about Aaron
Read a
Rodgers
little bit. It'll help you out. You
and
got
Mr.
it.
Logical. Remember Mr. Logical who kept saying we don't have any evidence to support. You know what I
Right.
mean?
We might
That's
be,
where we are. We don't have the evidence of that.
at 8:30. At 8:30, you might just be getting the evidence as clear as day
No,
that
that's
he
just.
might.
But
No,
like
that's
I
one
said,
game.
like I said, if he scores 40 tonight and they win, what does he do in game two? I don't care
We've
about what he
seen it.
does
We've
tonight.
seen him score 40 in a game.
I want to
We've
see what he does on the backside of that.
Derek
and,
White.
And that's what separates people. Like that's why these Jordans and these LeBrons, and I'm not trying to make a comparison about him to them, but just making a point. That's what makes them them. Is that they're going to come out the next game and
you do
generally
it
give
game
you what you
after
got.
game after
Right.
game. Shoot, we just talked about. I mean, I wouldn't talk about it, but I saw they was talking about it in the group. Like the series that LeBron, they got the Cavs got swept by the Warriors. Shoot,
Yeah.
LeBron averaged 40 in that series. They got swept. We giving LeBron props for that?
My dog, LA our way, tapping
Uh oh.
into the
Uh oh.
motherfucking Hawks.
AD said I had enough of this shit.
Come on
Hell
in,
yeah.
Brett. Come on
Do,
in,
do,
Brett.
do, do we got you, LA? Oh, he about to get
No,
back in. He about to get in.
he had enough of that shit.
No, I mean, but see, because what he's about to say is, man, y'all saying that he ain't even good. Nobody said Jason Tatum wasn't good. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there right now. Nobody said that. We said the gap between
I know.
Tatum and Brown is not as wide as y'all like to make it seem. That's the point,
Yeah.
and y'all
Yeah, I
keep
gotta.
fighting against that point.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all always do that. Y'all
I
always
don't
say things that
understand
we
that.
didn't say.
Is it
So
not?
you
Is
saying,
this? I'm
I'm
not. I
clear
never
as
just
day.
said that song was trash. I'm just trying to. I'm just like getting a
I'm clear
debate
as
going.
day.
We've been
Saying.
saying the same thing for the last 2 months.
I've been saying the same thing for the last 2 years.
Well, that too, but you know what I mean.
Bruh, I just
But
think
like we just want to
nobody
see
has ever
Tatum.
just okay.
I'm cheering for Tatum. Like I want Tatum to be this and that and realize the dream and all that kind of stuff like
He's a
that.
good guy.
But he got
That's
to
why
earn it.
like he's a good guy. Like the dude's a good father. He's a good member of his community. Like I like that about him. That's not my issue. My issue is y'all making it seem like he's LeBron and Jalen Brown is
J.R. Smith.
Mario
I mean,
Chalmers.
that is probably like the best comparison you could
No,
probably
it's
make.
not.
J.R.
The
Smith.
the Jr. the Jr.
Dog, you are
Smith.
crazy.
Yo, you are wild flagrant,
You are
bro. You are wild
crazy, dog.
baby,
flagrant.
baby Kobe, Jalen
I'm about to,
Brown, baby Kobe.
I'm about to eject you, bro. I'm about to treat you like Angel
Hold
Reese
on,
out
wait,
here.
wait, wait, wait. You call Jalen Brown baby Kobe? You
That's
call
that's
J.R.
J.
Smith baby Kobe?
We
That's
got
baby.
LA
Yeah,
our way
J.R.
tapping
Smith
into
was
the hot
baby
box.
Kobe for sure.
J.R. Smith was in the G
Oh,
League.
see, Adam sitting up here talking all this shit to me a Residente. He need to get at you for that
Hey,
comment.
dog. Yeah, I know you. I know you heard that, AD. I know you heard that, AD.
I wasn't even paying. I was trying to get my other phone right. I wasn't even paying attention.
He just called. He just said J.R. Smith was baby Kobe.
He was baby
Nah,
Kobe,
hell
bro.
nah. But
Was,
look,
bro.
ain't nobody trying to shit on Jalen Brown, but all he is doing, bro, like if he was the guy that y'all making him to be, because he is a good player now. To Mike's point, I think Mike just said a couple minutes ago, like um, that that he had to grow or whatever. Tatum came in who he is. You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Brown didn't come in the guy he is, and that's not a knock on him.
Hmm.
That's just what it is. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Means he
But for
developed.
some reason, the fans, right? Because he was allowed to, because Tatum is the guy. He's
Hmm.
receiving the attention. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? So if Jalen Brown was this guy, he would have came in doing that when he was receiving attention before Tatum got
No,
there.
No,
Yes,
no,
bro.
bro,
It
no,
doesn't
bro.
always work that
Dog,
way.
Tatum was the number 2 pick in the draft, wasn't he?
Jalen Brown was top 5 as well.
Yeah,
Was
he
he
was he was
two?
number three. He was number three.
Yeah, he was
Was
Come
he
number three.
on,
two?
bro. Bro, we
Was
playing
he two?
semantics, bro. Come on, man.
No, it's not
He was the
semantics. They're numbers.
No,
Does
we
one
had
come
Bro, they
before
both
two?
Kobe.
top
Kobe
three
had to
back to
develop.
back
T
years.
Mac had to develop. Like that happens.
LeBron had to
I'm
develop.
not saying that he didn't have to develop, bro. I'm not,
Uh
and
huh.
like I said, and I'm not knocking him for that. It's only becoming a knock because you have guys like yourselves who try to, per, you know, act like
We trying to
Jalen
boost him.
Brown is yeah, boost him, bro. Like he's a good producing player,
Okay,
but
what
Uh
metric
and
tells you?
if
What
he
metric tells
and
you?
if
What metric tells
and,
you? Because you're a numbers
and
guy. What metric
hold on,
tells you that
if
there's a
he
big gap between Jalen
I,
Brown and Jason Tatum?
I'm not saying that there's a big gap. I was just about to say to
That's the
finish
only
my
point we made.
no, that's not the only point that y'all was making.
I've said it several times.
I heard you say that, but that's not the point that I'm getting at or driving at. I don't have an issue with like a couple of minutes ago somebody was like bruh is a number one option. Like bruh could be a number one option,
Oh,
but
I
it's
didn't say it.
gonna
He'd be
be
never
the
knowing
same.
option on other teams, not on this team.
Not on this team, but on other
No.
teams. That's what I'm saying. He could
Yeah.
go to another team and be a number one option. But
Yeah.
the conversation is going to turn to how we look at Tatum. It's gonna be Jalen Brown is getting the focal point,
Yep.
and it's gonna be other guys that's gonna have to be asked to step up and do what Jalen Brown is doing. It
Yep.
looked good that Jalen Brown doing it because he's not the number one guy. He can do this because Tatum receiving the flat. To Mike's point a couple of minutes ago about KD and Russell Westbrook, it's like when he was on OKC, he seemed passive and Russell seemed like the dog because KD the one that's getting the attention. But when
hmm
he went to the Dubs, when he was on the Warriors, and it's fucking 5 Hall of Famers, and KD can be like fuck LeBron, just I shoot this in your face. He can hold his nuts when you got Steph Curry.
Yeah. I
It
agree.
get different, bro.
I
I just want
agree.
to come on here and say that. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I
Like,
agree.
I
No,
don't
I
be
agree with
trying to
that
shit
point.
on Jalen Brown. Like he a good player, but he don't have a left. And if he is the number one guy, it's gonna be limits to that shit, bro. Just
His
like it
left has
was
actually gotten
before
better this
Tatum.
year. His left is actually a lot better this year than it was last year. He's actually worked on it. I've seen it. Like
He getting better as a player. I just
he's
don't.
getting
He's
better.
not what niggas make him, man.
So do
Niggas
you
boost
think?
him a little bit. A
So
little
here's a
bit.
quick question for you then. Do you think either one of them, Tatum or Brown, has already reached their peak, or do you think that one or both
Hell
of
no,
them
neither. They're
still
gonna
have
get
room to
better.
grow?
Come on, bro. And that's another thing too. That's why I don't like all the. That's why it seemed like I'm a Tatum fan or a LeBron fan, or I just don't like the like hate and boosting. I like to keep shit what it is. Like
Dog,
Tatum is still in his. He just entering his prime. Like he doing all he doing, bro. I'm not this huge Tatum fan, but he's doing all he. The nigga play for the Celtics, bro. I only like the nigga because he emulate Kobe a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And I fuck with that. That's what make me a fan of bro.
Why it
But he
gotta be
still.
hate though?
that is hate. So let me ask you: is
I'm not
hate
talking
saying
about y'all. I'm not talking about y'all hating. I'm saying it be niggas
yeah?
hating on tape.
Oh no, absolutely. But I
Yeah,
think like
I'm not.
that's like I think if you take a player like you can
And I
find
wasn't even
somebody.
just talking
Yeah.
about Tatum. I was talking about
Yeah.
LeBron. Like you know how niggas
Oh
be
yeah.
boosting.
Oh, I
Like
know what time that is
it be a lot of hating and boosting. I don't fuck
for
with
sure.
it. Just like let's just keep shit honest. Like it
For
make it
sure.
seem like I'm this big Harden fan or this big LeBron fan or this big Tatum fan, but I just like keeping shit real. Like I'm not really huge fans of them niggas like that. But anyway, what I was about to say was Tatum is both players are gonna get better. Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. Them niggas is still 26 and 27 years old, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even fully understand the game hasn't even fully slowed down. Like, yeah, they're still talented, but they're gonna enter a whole nother level. Like what we
hmm
seeing with Kyrie and his growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh is still the same talented nigga, but dude circumstance when it comes to basketball. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Tatum and Brown ain't even got there yet, bro. They can keep it. They should. Ralph was talking earlier. Like, they should keep it. If y'all don't happen to win this jump this year or next year, like, it's still time for that shit to grow. It's still we
Right.
can put shit around this shit. We can move Al Horford old ass. We can. KP might not be the answer if y'all don't win. It's like y'all can still do shit with the nucleus being Tatum and
It's
Brown.
gonna get too
But
expensive.
let's just stop acting like Jalen Brown is bruh equal or like he only doing this shit because and he's still not doing what Tatum doing.
But see, that's the
Like
thing. But see,
Tatum,
again, you said that, but you said that again, and I don't know what it is that he's doing that Jason. See, you haven't actually said what
because you
Jason
have to
Tatum's doing that Jalen Brown's not doing.
he's doing.
Okay, well,
He's
can we
hold,
at least
hold, hold,
admit
let me
that?
Ralph. Ralph. What he's doing is outproducing him
No, he's
as
not.
the. Yes, he
No, he's
is,
not. He's not.
bro.
What
Look at the
metric?
number. You just said the numbers, bro. When in the conference finals, Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum outperformed him in every major statistical
He
category.
had point two more points than him a game.
He had one. No, he had one whole more point than him a game,
Right, and he
and
also shot 10 more
more
shots than him a
rebounds.
game,
Oh, because he's the number one guy, and that's
and he
what I
also
was.
had a worse
Hold
field
on,
goal
Rez. That's
percentage.
what I was getting. That's what I was just about to get at. I'm not just talking about the playoffs. Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum has outperformed Jalen Brown as the number one guy, and you have to highlight that because he's getting the number one attention. So not only is Jalen Brown not performing on the level of Jason Tatum, he's doing it against the second best niggas. He's not doing it against the first looks, the best looks, bro. It hit different.
No,
That's why
dog.
you
No,
say,
no,
or
no,
I
no,
say,
no, no,
if dude
no,
go to another
no.
team,
I disagree with
he's
that,
going.
and I only
All
disagree with
right,
that.
let's just. I wish
I
I
just
wish
want.
Jalen
I,
Brown really didn't sign with the Celtics.
I
I was
disagree with this
hoping
point,
dude
and I'm
went
gonna tell you
somewhere
why I
else so we
disagree
could
with this
see
point.
this
I'm gonna
shit.
tell you why. Because the main issue I've always said, and I'm very consistent about this point, is Jason Tatum's shot selection is awful. It is really bad.
It is.
Well,
It
here
So you
coaching
can't
is,
dude.
tell me.
but that
Respect.
don't. That, so
Hey,
was.
AD,
I was just about to say,
AD,
like,
you
what's up?
remember those
What's up?
seasons where Jalen Brown was an MVP candidate?
You mean like the Eastern Conference Finals
Never,
MVP? Wait, you mean like
ever
the
in
Eastern Conference
life,
Finals MVP?
No, I'm talking about league MVP.
Do you
bro. He
mean like the
won that
Eastern
shit.
Conference Finals MVP?
I'm talking about
Oh,
league
so don't
MVP.
so only MVPs that matter are league MVPs.
That's
All
the
right, word.
only
You right.
one that you
You
want.
got it.
That's the only one you want to brag
Now,
about.
You
hold
talking
up.
about for one?
It's the
Hold
only
on.
one.
Wait.
It's the only one you don't have.
Before you go
It's the
any
only one you
further,
don't have.
hold up. Wait.
Seven
Before you
games, you
go
might as
any
well
further,
give a
Cups,
player of the month.
styrofoam, Ralph. Before you go any further, I'm gonna use Adam and Residente's words: consistency. Don't you sit up here and ask that fucking question after we've been sitting up here for the last month talking about how MVPs are media created and you know what I mean, how there's an agenda behind.
Man,
You said
And
that
That's honestly
yourself.
how
You
I'm gonna
said
use your
that
point.
Mike.
yourself.
I'm gonna use your
Mike,
point. I'm gonna use your point, Cups. So remember that time that Jason Tatum won an MVP?
I remember those times he was
Any
ranked. I remember
kind?
those times he
Any
got. I
kind?
remember those times he
Hold on,
got
wait, no.
acknowledged as
Yes
an
or
MVP.
no? Wait, no. Yes or no? Do you remember the time that Jason Tatum
never.
won an MVP? Any kind?
MVP,
Yes
MVP
or
nod,
no?
no
Yes or
recognition.
no? Yes or no? Do you remember the time that Jason Tatum won an MVP?
But that's the only one you want to give
He
him.
brought up MVPs.
His only one.
The reason he
He
brought it
brought
up
it up
though,
because he thought
Rez,
he had
is
a point.
because dude never Jalen Brown has never even the point he do. The
That's why
point
he
is
brought it up.
Jalen Brown. The point the he do have a point though, Rez. The point is they're not equal. One has been in the conversation, the other has not, and it's all predicated on one. We all know that Jason Tatum is getting the
Even
bulk
though
of
Jason,
Jalen
attention.
Brown is the one
You
making the
have to
plays in
you
winning
have
time.
to
even though
acknowledge that.
Jason Tatum is the one on the team that has a
Just like
any kind of
who
MVP.
brought up who brought up Chris
That was
Middleton
me.
a few minutes ago?
2-5.
Because
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Giannis'
but look
team.
at the
Chris
gap
The
Middleton is
gap,
between
no.
though,
Giannis
the
and
gap
Middleton.
between Giannis and Middleton is not.
I'm not okay. Every and I don't disagree with that. Every
Definitely.
circumstance is not the same. I didn't say like to Red's point a couple of minutes ago. I didn't say that it's this huge gap. Like I'm not trying
And
to
that's what I
shit
was
on
about to
Jalen
say
Brown,
before this whole.
but y'all
All
are
right, so
trying
check it
to
out.
That's what I was about to say
So
before
check
this
it
whole
out.
joint got
So
started.
so
Hold on,
back to
2-5,
that.
please, just
So
2 seconds, bro. Hold on, 2-5, just 2 seconds, bro. Because can't we at least admit that the same thing is being said when Adam says that they're not equals, and when he also says that he agrees with Rez when he said that the gap is not that big? That's still saying the same thing. They
I'm
not
saying it,
equal.
but that's what
same
I
thing.
said. Jason Tatum is better. Jason
But when
Tatum
he
is
said they're
better. The
not
gap
equals,
isn't
you
that
are getting offended by that.
That's then
what
that's
equal.
we
So
then we
I'm not
agree
saying
right
they're the
there.
same.
Then
I
we
said they're
agree
one
right
A,
there.
one B. Jalen Brown is B.
Okay, I can
but
agree
what I
with
was
that.
going to taking it back to the
I
Stephen
can
A
agree with that.
conversation, right? where he was talking about Jalen Brown not being marketable or whatever. Like, if we gonna say all that, are we saying that Jalen Brown shouldn't have been on an All NBA team?
I don't feel like dude an all NBA player, but he got it, man. I don't want to seem like I hate the young man. Like dude can
Dude
hoop.
plays ball,
You
man.
know what
Dude
I'm
play
saying?
hard.
Like he can
He
hoop.
play
He
hard,
can
man.
hoop. I just don't. I just don't agree with. There are, and I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah.
speaking about you two guys, bro. There are guys like when we were in the group talking back when the Dubs was facing. That's
Mm.
where all this shit come from. Because prior to that, I don't know who brought it. I think it was Ralph that said prior to 2021, it was like Jalen Brown was a good player, but like niggas won't look at it
No,
like
not
this
at
is
Bro,
all.
Jalen Brown
no,
team.
no,
Like
no. I
Not
gotta
at all.
push
2018,
back on that. I gotta
it
push
was
back on that. Like, bro,
2018 when they went to the conference finals. It wasn't no
since
Jalen
y'all
Brown
watch
nothing.
ESPN all
It was
day,
Jason
since y'all watch
I
Tatum.
ESPN
don't
all
watch
day,
ESPN all day.
they were the ones that started the is Jalen Brown better than Jason Tatum, and that happened a lot before
He just
now.
he
I'm not gonna
just
say
had his
I'm not gonna say
breakout
who started
season,
it, bro.
bro.
I don't know who started it.
He
No, I
just
know
had
that,
his
but
break.
I'm saying
I
that
don't.
question came up before now, though. Like
Yo,
just about 3 weeks ago on this
That's
very
what I'm saying. That's what
podcast,
I was saying.
Jason
y'all were
Tatum,
arguing about that.
Jason Tatum gets paid $60 million
That's
a
what
season
I'm
to play
talking about.
basketball.
I'm talking about I'm talking about the last time, Mike, when the Celtics
Yeah,
lost to the
Mm.
Warriors. That's when the conversations was coming up.
I think it was
That's
before
when it
that.
was starting. We was having that.
It
I
might have
mean,
been
it
in the
might have
conference
was.
finals. People
It
started
might
looking
have
like,
was before
dang,
that.
this
But
dude's
that's
really
what.
good. Like that's when I started like, oh, dude, like my man is nice. Yeah, I
Yeah,
like my
that I'm
man is
talking about.
nice. Like
That
I
year.
didn't, I
That
never paid
season.
no attention to dude,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Because to Ralph's point, that was
yeah,
the year he broke out, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like he had a really good year, but it wasn't. You can't. We look at what we try to do is because we don't like a player, we look at his health and say, "Oh, but he got this. He's
I
doing
like
this."
Why
Jason
y'all
Tatum.
Like,
always
bruh,
do
like
that?
cut the
Like,
shit
I
out,
like Jason
bro.
Tatum. I like
That's what
Jason
it
Tatum.
who
be.
doesn't like
That's
Jason
what it
Tatum?
is.
Everybody likes Jason. No, no,
I'm
I'm not
not
talking
talking.
about us. I'm
I'm
not
not
talking about us.
talking
I'm
about
talking
They
about
not
in
like
y'all.
us.
general.
They
Like,
not like
who
us.
Including
doesn't
They
like
not like
Mike. I'm
Jason Tatum?
us.
talking about
What season was this? Is that this year?
UNC fans. It don't.
No, this is
UNC fans don't
career.
That's
like him
different. That
either,
just comes with the
bro.
Doug, you
territory.
can't do career numbers, Doug, because
That's
How
No,
can
but
you
that
not
that's
do
don't
not
that
career
don't
true,
have
numbers?
nothing
We
to
bro.
do
I'm
said
gonna
with
it
tell you
that
why.
way.
basketball. That
I'm
don't
Then,
gonna
have
tell you
nothing
bro.
to do
why.
with
Jalen
No,
basketball.
Brown
That's
I'm
has
gonna
just
tell
he
you.
way
went to
more
Duke.
money.
Bro.
That's just
UNC
he went
fans
to
do
Duke
I'm a
not
though.
Duke.
You're
like
not
I'm a
gonna
him.
sit up
They
here and
I'm a
say that
Duke
he's
fan.
trash.
I'm a Duke
but they
fan.
don't like him. But
Just like I
they
don't like I
use
didn't
that,
like
bro.
Percy
They
Harvin, but it
use
had
that.
nothing to do
I'm a Duke fan.
I'm not
with
Hey,
talking
no.
about you, Mike.
So
Follow me, Mike.
Cups.
Mike, follow me, bro. I'm not
No,
talking
I
about
know
y'all.
that,
We know
Adam. But
there are
no, what
guys
I'm saying
who don't.
is, though, to
Okay,
say that
okay.
UNC fans hate Jason Tatum, that just comes with the territory. It has nothing to do with whether he's a great basketball player or not. They just hate him because he went to Duke.
Okay, I don't care
Okay.
where it come from. I'm
All
saying
right.
that
So
these
fuck the
niggas don't
context
like
then. Mr.
dude, and they
Context
will
says fuck the
use.
context.
Oh no, that's not Mike. It's not fuck the context. My point to you is that there are a select few fans that don't like certain players and will use that disdain or dislike for a player and look at everything
Mm,
around them and boost it up
This is since 2020.
like they did with LeBron and Kyrie. Like they said, oh, Kyrie should
well,
have
he
won
shouldn't
Finals
have.
MVP.
He
Like,
shouldn't
cut this
have.
shit out, bro.
Yeah, yeah. No,
But
you're
you
right.
had
No, you're
fans
right.
that don't
You're
like
right. No,
LeBron
you're right.
saying that.
I know what you're saying.
Like this is what I be getting at. Like I don't hate Jalen Brown. He is a talented player, but he's not dude equal. There are things Jason Tatum can do a lot better than Jalen Brown. Even the things that Jalen Brown can do well, Jason Tatum does better.
Correct.
You
Correct.
know what I'm saying? It's like they so like, but that don't mean that dude suck or dude can't lead his own team or because he to nigga's point, he has came a long way. Like the nigga could probably go to a
He
team
could
and
Yeah.
lead a good team. But the
because he'd have the
conversation is
touches.
going to change to how we look
But
at
see,
Tatum. We're gonna say, oh, it's unless niggas stop liking them, you know what I'm saying? Unless all of a sudden niggas just start hating on Jalen Brown, the conversation gonna turn to, oh, is it who and let's say he go to the fucking pick a team, the Knicks or anybody that got good players, they're gonna say it's everything
hey,
else but good. Once niggas start
Cups. Can you
hating
also
on him.
look up just as an aside? Because I get those points. I see what you're doing there. But can you also look at the amount of shots per game that each of them take?
Back to zoom out some, Ralph, so I can see this.
Like, I just want to see attempts per
This
game
one I like too. This one I like too. This one down here. I like this one too.
or championships.
No,
No,
the
the
All
shit that the
NBA,
shit
the
that
All
just
Star,
3 weeks
all that
ago he
The
shit.
was
stuff,
complaining about
the
were
stuff,
media
the stuff, the
creations.
stuff that the media gets to pick.
But now, since
That's
it
what you
makes his
like.
point,
So now
all
you
of a
like
sudden,
those.
now that it makes
It's
his
based,
point, all
but
of a
it's
sudden
based
it's the
on.
Bible.
I'm just saying though.
What are you
No, what you
saying?
saying is bullshit. That's what you saying.
What are you saying?
That's like me being like, "Yo, why quarterbacks always win MVP?" Oh, you know what? This Aaron Rodgers is more important than CMC because he got an
Because
MVP.
because
Like, you know
yep,
what I mean?
yep.
Like,
I mean, Mike, both things are true though. Like, if you are you going to sit here and deny the fact that
well, hold on,
Aaron
wait. Let's
Rodgers
not do the
being an
football thing right now.
MVP?
Oh,
But
please
but no,
no,
but no, but
no,
no, but no. I'm just
please
saying. I
no.
was just
All right,
making a point. I was just making a point. But but like I'm saying, like so, like for example, right? Jokic has what 3 MVPs,
Yep,
and Embiid's got the one, right?
yeah,
yep.
But
that shit
a
crazy.
lot of people would still take Embiid over Jokic
Over
or say
Jokic
that
every day of the
Embiid
week.
is better than Jokic, right? So if I'm sitting up here today,
I
if I'm
think
sitting up here
prior to
today
this year,
saying that the MVP starts in the off season because of conversations and XYZ, blah blah blah, I can't come back and be like, well, Jokic got more MVPs than him.
I absolutely can't. And again, like just back to that point, and this is actually goes back to the conversation I was having in the inbox with you guys earlier today. Media drives discussion. The media picks the winners, bro. So if the media, so think about this: how many actual comparisons have we seen of Jason Tatum and the Boston Celtics to the Dallas Mavericks since the finals was previewed? I haven't seen a whole lot. Everything I've seen is, can Jason Tatum outperform Jaylen Brown? I'm telling you, that's a recipe for disaster. That's all I'm telling you.
All
Because
right, what we looking at, Cup?
if
Oh, my
Jason
bad.
Tatum is coming out, if Jason Tatum is coming out and trying to prove that he's better than Jaylen Brown, they're going to lose. They need to, as a team,
I don't think
that's
he
what
does that though, bro. He don't. I don't think Jason.
I
I
think
don't
he
think
does it
he
all the
ever
time.
does that though. I think.
All right,
I don't.
so
I think Jalen
But that's
Brown
what I'm
does that
saying. He's
shit.
Mamba mentality with Vince Carter's brain.
Jalen Brown comes out. He got the little man syndrome. Like it's
No,
my
he's never
team.
said
It's
that.
me. It's
He's never
me.
said that.
He don't. This is no. This is how he plays.
He
He's
can't. How
off
can he
the
hog the
ball,
ball if he
and
takes
then we
less shots
wonder
than
why.
Jason Tatum?
Oh, in the moments, bro. Listen to me. Let me finish my point, and I'm gonna let Ralph go real quick because I know
no, you
I'm
good, bro.
rambling. But in the moments, bro, like somebody just was talking about how, and I think it was you, Rez. Dude had 27 points in the first half, and then had 5 points in the second half. To your point, a lot of that is bad shot selection, but it's bad if looking at the numbers. But in the moments, bro, it be after Broden got on a hot streak. Bro is being Jalen Brown. Him trying to get himself going because he didn't had a slow first half because Jason Tatum was so hot in the first half, getting nearly 30 points. Now let's try to get our second guy going. And now I didn't got Cole
Then
trying to
that's
get
poor
my
coaching.
team involved. Trying
Right.
because I can this, and I've been saying this about Missoula. Like he's a good coach, but he still got going
Definitely,
to do
definitely.
himself as a coach. Like he just becoming a head coach. You know what I'm saying? We gotta add all
Yeah, and then
context,
when we
bro.
go the other way
That's
and
all
Tatum
my
scores
point of view.
48 and
You know
Brown
what I'm
scores 14, we got to hear, like whatever. You know what I mean? So it works both ways.
saying? But that's what niggas be asking for though. Niggas like if you the guy, Tatum, show me, and then he
But
showed me,
when
and then
He showed us in Game 7 against Philly last year. He did show us
Game
then.
7 against Philly, but I'm talking in the Eastern Conference Finals. That series was that series that se-
bro, he
that series.
outperformed
No,
the
no, no,
man in
bro.
every
In the
major
fourth,
game.
MVP.
no, I'm not
MVP
gonna say he was the
worthy.
MVP. It's crazy. Like I
But
have an echo, or like it's like parrots, like on my shoulder or something. It's crazy, but like it's really odd. But we saw in the Eastern Conference Finals when it was crunch time, it was Derek White, it was Captain Drew, and it was Jaylen Brown. It wasn't Jason Tatum.
why? Now ask yourself why
It wasn't
wasn't
because Jason
but
Tatum stopped shooting.
because he was getting
It
the attention. It
it
was
wasn't because
because
he stopped
he was
shooting,
getting
bro.
the attention, bro. When it gets down to the crunch, we are gonna put our
Nobody, they were
team
not
on
doubling
display.
Jason Tatum. They
And
weren't
we gonna
doubling
and
Jason
ho ho
Tatum.
ho 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 ho.
They were
They
doubling
do
Jason
that, but
Tatum.
that
Okay.
Well,
That's my point,
why
All right.
doesn't that apply? Why doesn't that
Yes.
apply to somebody like Kobe?
Yes.
Why does that not apply to somebody like T Mac?
I was just because Jason
No, I
Tatum
know
ain't
that. I
Kobe,
know
bruh.
that. I know
Kobe is
that. But I'm
all
talking
time
about
is.
him being that focal
Like
point of the
let's let the young man get
defense. That
let's let the young man
I'm
grow,
letting them grow.
bro. Let's let
I'm
him
only I'm
grow.
only talking
Like
about right
that's
now. I'm not talking about 10 years from now.
like 8 years.
I'm not
if
talking about
we
10 years from now, bro.
he
No,
been
I'm
in the
not talking
league
about
like
Okay, 7
7 years, and
years.
this
My
is the
bad.
right.
year that Nick
But
he been in the league.
but
He
listen,
been in the
Adam. I'm
league
talking.
So
Adam. I'm not.
so
Adam.
in year
in the
10,
in
in year 10, you're gonna be like, dude, he just had his 30th birthday. What do you want?
No, that's
Adam.
not what I'm
Adam.
saying. If you let me finish, I will tell you what I'm saying. The seventh
Let
season
me hear
is
it.
when the seventh season is when
It's not fun.
all of the all-time niggas started winning, unless they had a stacked team around them. Being Michael Jordan, seventh season, LeBron James, seventh season. The only niggas is niggas like Tim Duncan and Kobe Bryant who had all-timeness around them coming in, bro. You have to let niggas grow. This is Tatum's seventh season. He done been there already, so he know what it like. Let's let it play out. And then
But I'm
after
not
this
talking
series,
about. I'm not talking about 10 years in the future, bro. I'm talking right now.
I am too. This is his seventh season
But
now. I'm not
there's a
talking about
problem with what
next
you're
year or nothing.
saying, though. There's a problem with what you're saying.
What's the
I have a
problem? Let's
problem with
address
what
it. Let's address
you're
it.
saying because you're
Let's get to
correct.
it.
You're correct, right? This is year 7, you said. So you're absolutely
Or
correct.
yeah.
The problem is, the problem is he's already been in the Eastern Conference Finals every year and made the finals already. So
Uh-huh.
like going to your point about team been on stacked teams. I'm not even saying that Boston's been stacked, but he's been here.
Exactly,
So
because
what else he
context
got
is
to go
key, Mike.
through? What else
He
So
he
got
got
Adam,
to
to
I'm gonna
go
ask
go
through?
you.
He's
through.
been here
He
his whole
has
career.
Adam, I'm gonna
bro,
ask
he
you.
has bro,
Adam, I'm gonna
let me
ask you.
answer Mike real quick, Rez, and
All right,
I'm
go
gonna get let me answer Mike real quick because
ahead.
it's real quick. Bro, context is key. He was getting there because the East ain't really that great, and we have been saying that LeBron's entire career. It only had like one or two good
Mm-hmm.
years after LeBron left that it was really like, oh shit, this conference good, and that was just recently when he went
Mm-hmm.
to the finals.
When everybody
Them
went from the
years that
west to
he
the
was
east.
them other years he was getting, he had to face LeBron, and he wasn't ready yet, bro. Like, and the
So
years afterwards, it was still other teams that had more experience. Those Kawhi Raptor teams, those Giannis teams, they all got more experience than
Yes.
the youth of the Boston
no,
team. So they have to go.
those Kawhi hurt. That's what they got.
No, you're right. You're right.
I'm
Hey,
I'm
real.
talking about to get there. I'm talking about
I
to
got. I
get
got.
past. I'm talking about to get through that East,
I got to hop
including
out real quick.
Boston.
But I just want to
so if
ask this real
Boston
quick.
lose, so if Boston loses this year, we going again?
We're
I
gonna
hope
talk
not.
about how Kyrie. We're gonna talk about how Kyrie willed the fucking Mavs to
Okay.
motherfucking glory.
Which I
But
think
go
is
ahead,
which I
Rez.
think is going to
Okay.
happen. But
Go
so
ahead,
I'm gonna
Rez.
ask you the same
Okay.
question I asked him
Okay.
earlier. If Jason Tatum, if Jalen Brown averages 15 points a game in this series, do the Celtics win?
No, man. He
Okay.
gotta average a dub. Then that's what I'm saying. He is
He's going to
biased to
average
that.
25 or better.
He gonna have to. But
He's going to have to.
if that's the case though, that's like saying like because that's basically what Kyrie do. And we all understand. And Kyrie is the one closing games, but we
Yep.
still say this Luca, Luca, Luca. We don't do that
Is
with Tatum
Denver
though.
gonna win a
No.
series if
We don't
Jamal
say we don't
Murray
say
only
we don't say
averages 15
Yeah,
we don't
points?
say that's
because
Kyrie.
Luca was the
We don't
one that
say
hit the
oh
shot over Gobert. That's why.
Because nobody can. You know
yo
why? But you
yo
know the difference.
yo
You know the
yo.
difference. Nobody's comparing Jokic and Murray. Nobody compares Luca and Kyrie. We have
But
not
I'm saying
argued about
though,
who's.
it's a
We have
player.
not
I mean,
argued. Alex,
somebody
That's
hold on,
my
else.
wait,
point.
wait,
That's my
wait.
point, bro.
We have not
Because
argued
nobody
once
hates
about.
Luca. Nobody
No,
dislikes
people,
Luca.
people absolutely hate Luca.
Who and the
Everybody
niggas
has
who
haters.
do that shit, and the niggas who do dislike Luca do exactly what we're talking about, Reg.
But my point,
Follow me, bro.
no,
Follow me.
my point is this. My point is this. When you look at Luca's numbers, you look at Kyrie's numbers, there's a major gap. It's not a small gap. It's a major gap. When you look at
What?
Jokic's numbers and Jamal Murray's numbers, there's a major gap. It's not a small gap. It's a major gap. And when you look at both of those teams, everybody understands their role. That's why I said they
That
play team
that
ball.
is the problem. That is
That's
not
Adam's
Tatum fault.
point.
That's my point. Jalen Brown, the one with little man syndrome, bro. It's
Doc,
like when he was. It's hold
Jalen
up,
Brown
Reg. It's
stopped
like when
shooting,
Kyrie. It's like when Kyrie was on the Cavs. This is my team too. I matter too.
if
Until he
Jalen
go see
Brown,
how
no,
until he go see how hard it is himself.
But if Jalen
And then
Brown
he got to
stops
be, and then he
shooting,
got to be smacked into reality. Like, oh damn, I did have it good.
but if
I did
Jalen
have it really
Brown,
good.
if
Like,
Jalen Brown stops shooting in the clutch, right? We've already established the fact that Jalen Brown shoots a higher percentage than Jason Tatum. We've established
because
that.
he's facing the weaker
No,
defenses.
Jason Tatum shoots turnaround 3-pointers for fun.
I'm not saying that he don't do that, bro. That he's not.
So
That
that
is not how
factors
he.
in. That's part of the context.
It do, but it's not affecting his numbers to that degree. What
But
is his team ball hogging, bro?
you can't
Having
say
little
somebody's
man
ball hogging, they
syndrome.
shoot less shots than you.
Yes,
All
you
right, bro.
can,
For one,
bro.
no, for one, first of all, since 2020. All right, here we go. Since
Since
2020,
2020.
Jalen
Let's go back to when Jalen Brown wasn't very good. Go ahead.
Bro, how do you think Shaq and Kobe got into it? Kobe was trying to hog this my
Brown. No,
team.
Because Shaq wouldn't
go
work
ahead.
out. That's why.
So,
That's
Shaq
why
was
they got
shooting.
into it.
Shaq was obviously outperforming Kobe, but Kobe was like, bro, fuck that. It was becoming a rip, and that's
But
the
it was,
same shit I'm
but it was
getting at,
also
bro.
the same thing. It was also the same thing. There were times where you had to sit Shaq down late because he couldn't hit free throws,
And
and Kobe
that's
had to bring it home.
a
Absolutely.
separate conversation because you don't got to do
Absolutely.
that with Tatum. You don't have to do that with Tatum.
You
You know what
don't
I'm
have
saying?
to,
So
but
that's
that's what's been happening.
no, it's not. He's been getting the fucking focus to
I know
be
that.
just
I
as
know that.
focused.
I'm not saying why or why not. I'm just saying that's what's been
That's the
happening.
problem. That's the problem. We're
so
not saying why
again,
not, bro.
That's not the problem because
Yes, it is because
every lead
context is
player on the
key,
team
bro.
faces the same thing, and they don't get rescued by their number two a lot.
Absolutely.
so
But the
again,
difference
I
is one is 26 years old, bro. Like let the nigga grow.
They're
The
a
other
year
niggas you talk,
apart.
the other I'm talking about the other stars of teams who have similar situations. They are experienced and have gone through the hardship. They didn't start out so high like Tatum, where his
But you,
expectations are so high because he's in conference finals early
bro,
in his
you
career.
can't use that. Like for the
How
fact that
can't
they've
I?
because for the
no
fact that
wait,
they've been in
no,
these
no,
conference
please,
finals
two
and the
five.
NBA finals, you can't say that. You can't make it sound like this is a 22-year-old in his second year or something.
That's not how I make. Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead, because we've been cutting you off. Go ahead, Ralph.
Because
What you was trying to say,
all I'm
Ralph?
saying is, and again, Rez, I know you feel like I'm trying to rail on, bro, but again, in 2020, Jalen Brown was an all-star. So again, Jalen Brown took 19 shots that year. Jason Tatum took 20 shots that year. In 2021, Jalen Brown took 18 shots. Jason Tatum took 20 shots. In
Like, bro,
2022, Jalen Brown took 20
Rez
shots.
acting like dude can't hog the ball. Like, listen to this shit.
Jalen Brown took
Listen
20
to this
shots.
shit.
Jason Tatum took 21 shots. In 2024, this season, Jason Tatum took 19 shots and Jalen Brown took 17 shots.
Come on, bro. These niggas right there with each other the whole time. And all that means is everything that I'm saying. That is
Know
or
your
and
role, nigga.
some and some of what they saying as well too. It's some of what they saying as well too. 1A and 1B. You know what I'm
Right.
And
saying?
it's
Like
crazy because, bro,
it's not a huge gap. It's not a huge gap, but it's a clear gap. And we have to apply the context to why this gap is. And why do like how is Tatum outperforming, bro, while being the guy, getting the attention? Like he's outperforming Jalen Brown in every stat while being the guy. Like we gotta acknowledge this, bro. Niggas don't
talking about
acknowledge it because they don't like
taking all
Tatum.
the shots. Bro, they taking the same shots
Damn
a
near,
game.
like that shit
They
crazy. I
taking
ain't
the
even know.
same shots
I didn't
a
even realize it
game,
was that close, Ralph. I ain't even realize it was
bro.
that close.
Like,
That's because you don't pay
so
attention. I brought that shit up on here like 3 months ago.
I must have
bro.
won. Yeah, I must have won. It wasn't even that I won't pay attention. I must have just ain't catch that, bro. I
Yeah, because I
didn't
was
know that.
talking
I
about
know.
after the All-Star break, he actually averaged more shots than Tatum coming down the stretch.
I can believe though. That's what I'm saying. This year, I can believe that shit. Like, bruh had to show he worth that money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had to have this year. Like, I'm happy for the nigga. Like, I don't hate dude. I just hate boosting. Man.
So
I hate
so so
niggas
Adam,
acting.
real quick. So if Boston doesn't win this series, um, what kind
Then he
of
need to.
do you stand pat or what kind of moves are you looking to make?
I to Ralph's point, I would stay how it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And give it at least one more time. And if it don't do it one more time, Missoula got to go. Give the new coach a year or two, and then we
Uh-huh.
can start. You know what I'm saying? They young, bro. Like everybody ain't gonna win. It's like the only reason it's this built up pressure is because they keep getting close. So we looking at it like why they can't get it done. Context is key. They face the fucking Warriors, thirsting to prove that they could win without KD. Thirsting that shit. Like the Celtics was fucking children damn near, bro. Like it's not their time. Like we niggas just don't like adding context for who they don't like. That's all it boils down to. And that's why I
Then
call that
getting
shit
knocked out by championship mode LeBron, album mode LeBron.
album mode.
Like, what is we really
How many
talking
times they lost to LeBron?
every
Once, I
time
think.
on it?
No,
Every time
once
he
or
went to
twice.
the ECL?
it was once. It was that
It was
very
once.
first time.
There was that because he left
So
after that. He
stop
went to the
that.
Lakers.
Stop that running into people shit. Stop it.
But he did. They still was running into. That was my point a couple minutes ago, Mike. He still like as soon as LeBron left,
And that was
Kawhi came
without
to the East.
Kyrie.
As soon as LeBron left, Kawhi came to the East and won, bro. Like these
But
are all.
Kawhi didn't
these are-
even beat them. They didn't even run into him.
I'm just saying, this is the East he got to go through, though. They were the champ. They end up winning, and Kawhi's expertise and experience is what propelled that Raptors team. And we have to apply all of that to this conversation, bro. All of that is relative to
Definitely,
why.
and that's my overall point. Is we saw that, but we're here now. Like
Yes,
you know what I mean?
now
We're here
he gotta
now.
win. I agree.
So
with
if they lose this
Y'all
series,
gotta
I'm
win,
not
Ralph.
trying to hear. I'm not trying to hear. Let them grow.
I'm not either. No, I'm not saying let them grow.
No.
You asked me.
Okay.
I'm not using let them grow as an excuse. I'm saying let them grow. I'm not using that as an excuse. None of what I'm saying is an excuse, bro. They gotta win. This is their time. Because the Mavs, if they win it, it's going to be because of the greatness of Luka and Kyrie. But we need that from Tatum and Brown. And if Tatum and Brown do that, then they're gonna win.
All right, so here's a separate
It's how
question
I
for
feel.
both of you, or all three of y'all, because Lethal been kind of quiet over there. So here's a question for everybody too: is this Dallas thing a thing to stay, or is this they're just hot right now?
No, I think it's like Luka got the experience now. He here
As
now.
long as
Like
people
shit.
dribbling the basketball, they team gonna contend, bro.
For sure.
Nah, I ain't gonna go that far. Now I'm talking about Kyrie. You got to be there too now. Because if Kyrie ain't there,
I think Kyrie's staying though. I think Kyrie found his
is.
home.
Well, yeah, he's on
You
like a
know.
3 or 4 year deal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But I
you know,
just
as
mean
long
as far as them being a contender, because
I
next
do.
year,
Yeah, that's what
Because of
yeah,
OKC
hell
OKC is
yeah.
going to be a year
Hell yeah.
older.
That's what,
I imagine
yeah.
Minnesota's going to do something.
I
You
still
know,
think they're gonna be. I think they're gonna still because that combo is tough, bro.
And
So-
then
so-
it's
so-
just to keep the competition going. Like it's just for it's gonna happen, bro. Like these
so
niggas
does
gonna
Cat
stay.
got to go, or are people overreacting?
Gobert needs to go, bro. That's who
Nah. You gonna get more for Karl Anthony Towns, and I feel like they could use like Karl Anthony Towns is a nice piece, but they need a little bit more, and they can get more than they could for Rudy Gobert if they traded Cat. Nas Reed just had a good year, and he played Cat position. You could probably start dude.
So I heard some people suggest. I've heard some people suggest that they should trade Cat for somebody like Trey Young. What do you think about that?
Trey
I
Young
don't.
and Anthony Edwards. Man, Trey Young ain't gonna be going for that. Pass me the ball, nigga. Like,
No, he is though. That shit could work. Like that shit could work. I just want that nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that shit could work. I would do it if I'm known. I'm just definitely an upgrade from Karl Anthony. Having Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
Fuck
So
yeah.
what
Man.
what do you think? What do you think that number 17 will get y'all back?
Nothing. LeBron James. Like a motherfucker.
while everybody talk about making all these other moves for this particular player, I feel like the Mavs should be the one that should be trying to go after Bi.
Brandon
Wow.
Ingram. That is.
Yeah.
I fuck with that too.
Why?
Why not?
Why not?
Because I mean,
It only
I
make
don't
them
know, I don't
better.
know
What
what
do
he
they-
brings.
He bring hoop.
A bucket. What is
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
talking
He
about?
bring you. He bring you.
It's only-
He don't have to be. He don't have to be
easy
the guy that.
17, bro. A easy
He don't have to be
17,
the
bro.
guy that we expect him to be with that draft selection. Like Jaylen Brown, bringing the conversation. full
As
circle.
everybody
Like I said-
says, as a lot of people say, there's only one basketball.
No, but I'm saying though, everybody was like when I said he was casually keeping the Pelicans relevant while Zion was going through his street clothes phase and his porn star phase, and they had old man CJ McCollum. Niggas was talking about BI was inconsistent, okay, but he was still that nigga on that team, and that's how I feel like everybody keep talking about, bro. If Jaylen Brown was to go to another team right now, he would probably lead it the way BI lead a team. If we keeping that shit 100,
That's what I.
you know
That's
what I'm
why I
saying?
brought it up. That's why I brought back up because
So
that's all.
goddamn. So I feel like BI would slide into a Mavericks team with Kyrie
I
and
fuck with that,
Luca.
bro. I fuck with that.
I feel like
If he accept that position, like if he
yeah.
accept that role, because that's all it is. He gonna have to accept that role.
Right. That's
That
definitely a
shit
big
is
part
hard.
of it.
That is a good.
Yeah.
That's a good suggestion, bro. I fuck with that. Brandon Ingram to the Mavs.
I feel like that will definitely shake shit up. Because now,
Or the Knicks.
yeah, Minnesota. I just don't, man.
I definitely don't like him on the Knicks.
Minnesota is just a. I can't stand their front court. It's like they're too big, man. They need to go, but it's like, yo, what? So what
No,
else they
on that
gonna do?
you
perimeter
need
though.
Gobert. You need Gobert. You just need so without sounding disrespectful,
I'd
Oh
rather swap that nigga out for
man,
Clint
like
Capella.
bro,
Fuck that nigga.
without
after watching
without
this
sounding
after watching what you saw, bro, in this playoff run that they had, bro, out of Gobert, where did you see a defensive MVP at?
I'm gonna tell you in a second. Without being disrespectful, they need to upgrade Mike Conley is what they need to do.
For sure, I agree
You know
on
what I
that.
mean? Because Mike Conley still brings a lot to the table, but it's time
Even
for him to
off the bench,
transition to the bench now
for
Yeah,
and
sure.
be like the leader of the second unit. But to answer your
yeah.
question, I think it's kind of unfair to be like, I didn't see a defensive MVP because my team was dumb enough to leave me on Luca. You know what I'm saying?
For that,
Like I'm 7 feet tall,
No, I'm not.
and
I'm
I'm
not
seven
even.
feet
I'm not
tall,
even.
and I had to defend Luca
I ain't even
on the
trying. I ain't
game-winning
trying to even
plays.
judge. No, I ain't even judging him for the Luka joint. I'm just saying in general, like guarding
No,
the
because
paint,
you got to
being
factor
a
in the rest of the defense, though. Like he was being pulled out of the paint, and then Lively and Gafford were getting alley oops. Like that's not on him. Can y'all stop the penetration before it even gets down here?
why he can't
Like
stop a
you want
hoop?
me to cover you. You want me to
Why you
cover
can't
you
stop a
and block these
hoop?
shots. You want me to cover you and block these shots. Can you maintain your defensive assignment to begin with? Because Dallas was just playing Gobert like a yo-yo. And that ain't necessarily have nothing to do with Gobert. Like that was more so, people like Jaden McDaniels, who's supposed to be a good defender, not being able to keep up and leaving PJ Washington open. So Gobert has to cheat over and get out of position. So now when you're coming back to the basket, these centers got easy layups or alley oops because Gobert's not there covering for somebody else. Whereas Denver plays a certain way. You know what I mean? And Denver goes through Jokic. So Rudy was able to stay in the paint because the ball was going to find itself there at some point. You know what I mean? But against Minnesota, or I'm sorry, against Dallas, they were swinging it all around the place and they were empowering their role players to get involved. So when Rudy had to cover all that and Cat wasn't doing nothing, what I'm saying, that just left the backside of their defense exposed. And then if I end up on Luca, what do you want Gobert to do? Like Wimby wouldn't have done no better against Luca.
Right.
I
Oh
don't
no!
know.
He wouldn't
I
have
Oh
know
done
y'all.
that.
no!
I know y'all don't know because y'all being
Oh
lazy right
no!
now. Y'all just
Yeah.
No,
y'all just trying to
no.
Are
shit
we
on
though?
somebody.
Are we though?
After
Yes,
watching
yes.
how
Are we though?
Y'all just
bro,
trying to shit on
Wimby,
somebody.
no,
No,
because
no, because Wimby.
if anybody come to the paint, bro, Wimby's there, niggas is running
I'm
Not
not
away.
if
even talking about.
Wimby, not if
We can
Wimby is
probably
getting
look that up
pulled
right
out the
now.
paint. Not if
Yeah,
Wimby
that's
is
the
We can
getting
thing.
pulled
probably
out the
look
paint.
up. We can y'all
That's
look
what
up
niggas
Wimby's
ignoring.
perimeter defense right now.
Okay, so
And
check it out. So check it out. So remember earlier when we first started talking, before Adam and all them showed up, I was talking about how Horford and Porzingis can pull Gafford and Lively out of the paint, leaving those lanes open for Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown. It's the same concept. You're pulling Rudy away, and then you're like, go play catch up or whatever. And then when he's out of position, we gonna shit on him. Just like Anthony Davis, right? That's why I said it's lazy. because Anthony Davis was talking about how he felt like he should have been had more
Bruh,
consideration for defensive
bruh,
player of the year. So he gets stuck on Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray hits a great shot that he
on the
probably won't hit
perimeter.
again. And then everybody was like, oh, so he's supposed to be defensive player of the year? It's lazy because y'all are using
Exactly.
like one
Because
circumstance
context is
that he
fucking
should have
key.
never been in
Yeah.
to be like, yo, he ain't a great defender.
This is why
Nah,
context matters
I'm
to
just
me.
looking at what I seen far as the
In one
if
instance,
I
though.
want
This
somebody
one
to play
instance.
defense, Wimby would have had a better chance of
I
either
don't see it like that.
But
blocking.
that's not the point. Yes, he would have probably had a better chance to defend Luca on the perimeter, but Luca's still
But he
making
didn't
that
have to.
shot.
Right.
Like,
Are you
and if he
sure?
does, I bet y'all wouldn't be like, oh, maybe Wimby ain't as good as I thought. Y'all would say he's a
He
rookie, or
shouldn't
what do
have
you
been
want
out
him to
there.
do against
Or
No,
Luca?
or
But since
even
it's
I
out.
would have said
Gobert, y'all are
no.
like, fuck that.
I would have said exactly what y'all just said. Damn, that's a good ass shot, Luca. You know what
That
I'm
ain't what you
saying?
said. You said Gobert ain't
If it
shit.
was
That's what you said.
if it was Wimby, I'd have been like, that's a good ass shot, Luca. The fact that it was Gobert was like, yeah, bro, you some goddamn garbage because you supposed to be
But
like that.
why? But
That's why
why?
that part don't make sense to me, bro. That's the
Because
part that don't make sense to me.
he a
That's what makes
defensive
it lazy. That's
MVP.
what makes it
Yeah.
Because
lazy.
he a
You ain't add.
defensive
You're not adding.
MVP, bro.
You're not the add.
Because
You're not
because
adding
you
the
know what?
context,
Because
bro.
Wemby finished what, second in defensive player of the year. So
So
if that
look,
same play would have happened against him, you wouldn't have that same energy because you
that's what
like
I'm ready
Wemby.
to say. Because you just
But
said you
won't
just
I just saying that though when I asked about Jalen Brown having an MVP nod? It's like, bro, y'all say, oh, but did Jason Tatum win it? It's like, bro,
I
Rudy
didn't say
Gobert
that.
won it though.
Residente
So
said
what's
that,
up?
yeah.
but you know what I
That was
mean.
Rez. But to
But
bro
you
point
co-signed
though.
it though. You was feeling it though.
No, no. What I was co-signing was you, Styrofoam Ralph, be sitting up here talking about how the MVP is bullshit and media created and all this kind of stuff. But then you're going to try to use it in an argument as a separator. Like that's where I had a problem with it. You weren't even wrong. What you were saying wasn't even wrong. But
Right.
it's just
Yeah, he
that
was
but it's
agreeing. He was actually agreeing. He was just
yeah,
talking
it's
about the
just that be
consistency.
consistent though. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
just like me and Adam, we've been arguing for like 7, 8 years now about like the top 25 and should there be a preseason top 25. So like at the end of a college football season, to make a point, I can't be like, yo, Georgia was preseason number 1 and XYZ. Adam's gonna be like, yo, you don't even support preseason rankings. You know what I'm saying? That was the point. You know what I mean? Is that like stay true to
But he
yourself.
actually did
Don't try
agree.
to change the
He did
argument.
agree with that shit though. He did agree with that
Yeah,
shit
I did
because that
agree
shit
with you, and
was
that's
right.
why I brought up, do you think Jalen Brown should be all NBA? That's why I brought that up. But you know what I'm saying? Because Jason Tatum still wasn't an MVP
All in
finalist. He was in the conversation, but he still wasn't a finalist to where
Bro, he
you were
was
trying
top
to make so
in multiple
only
years.
three there's only three finalists. Okay, cool. He was third, second place. He wasn't even
Damn,
second place. He was third, second place.
damn.
You know what I'm saying?
Who was that?
Cool.
Who was that? Who
Jason
y'all talking about?
Jason Tatum, because he was saying how he finished sixth. You know what I mean? He finished like behind Jalen Brunson, and KD got an
Yeah,
MVP vote.
but
KD got a first place MVP vote.
all the point was Jalen Brown wasn't even in the conversation. If
Right.
Tatum was that low, Jalen Brown wasn't even in the fucking conversation.
I'm
So
just
that's
saying.
all. That's the gap. Like that.
I'm just saying, stand on your square is what I was getting at.
Yeah.
You
No.
know what I
No.
mean?
No. No.
If that's how you feel that way. Don't change the dynamic depending on who's involved in the conversation.
I feel
That's
you
how.
though.
That's
Yeah, I
what I
get
was
you.
trying to say. You know what I mean?
That that'd be my point a lot of the time.
Just like if Jason Tatum comes out here tonight, like y'all said, he scores 40 and then they win, and then let's just say he scores, 31 in game 2 and they win again, then I got to shut up because what I was saying was, can you do it back to back? Like if you have
Yeah.
this big game, can you give me the game on the backside? I can't come back if he does it and say, well, let me see him do it for the rest of the series
Yeah.
because
That
he already
niggas
did
be
what I
doing
asked
that
him to
though.
do.
But niggas be doing that shit
You know what
though.
I'm saying?
Like,
And that's all I'm
That.
saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
All right, so we got about 15 minutes before game time, fellas. We is definitely not gonna tie up the rest of y'all night, man. God
I
dang,
know. I got a great
we
get in the
gonna
booth too.
hell yeah, we gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. AD, let's hear it, man. Who got it and how many games? We're gonna ask this every time. We'll say, yeah, since it's the final time, you got any final thoughts before we get into it?
Boston in 6, Tatum Finals MVP is what my mind say. My heart say Mavs in 7, Kyrie MVP. Is how I feel. You know
I
what I'm
feel
saying?
you, AD. I
I'm
got that on
torn.
the list.
I'm torn for real. Like I'm torn. I don't really know. I just want to see a good series. That's my take on it. But I think
All
y'all
right,
gonna win though, Ralph.
for sure. I appreciate that. 2-5. What is it? No.
What I want is a repeat of 2016.
Mm.
I want Kyrie in
Mm,
Game 7 burying that
that's
racist ass city in their misery.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
probably
That's what
how.
I
Yeah.
want. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But if both teams play at the best of their ability, I got Boston in 6 from the standpoint of what I brought up earlier. Dallas playing against OKC and Minnesota, they only had one person to worry about, SGA Anthony Edwards. In this series, Boston has many different ways to beat them.
Yeah.
And Boston has the ability to get hot from 3 in a way that those other teams didn't. So if they both play their games, Boston wins. Dallas has to muddy this up and make it a rock fight. You know what I mean? Like we need to be 3 minutes left in the game and it's 91-90 or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dallas needs to do that. But the problem is, it's not Kyrie. It's not Luka. PJ Washington shot 31% from 3 against the Clippers, 47 against OKC, 25 against Minnesota. Which
Man.
PJ Washington do we get? Because that's
That
what
nigga
Luka
shot
and Kyrie.
47% from 3 in a
Yeah,
series.
yeah. And that's and
God damn.
but that's what Kyrie and Luka are going to need, because if he's not hitting shots, then Boston's just going to collapse on them. And you know what I mean? What can you do?
I feel you. And well, for me, my final analysis, and to bring this entire conversation that we've been having full circle, like I said in the beginning, we've been talking about, you know what I'm saying, the greatness of Jason Tatum and the eliteness of Jaylen Brown, and how good these guys are, and how long and how much rope we're gonna give them to knock down the door for an NBA championship. But if we allow, because this is a special situation for the Mavericks, because again, the entire narrative that we've been building for the last 7 years is give them, like, let them grow, right?
Hmm.
Let them get to it. Let them break through. Like, we know MJ, all the greats didn't win until 28, whatever. If we let Luka fuck around and break through with this, Joe,
It's gonna be because of Kyrie though, cuz he
bro.
got like nigga was saying, I don't mean to keep cutting you off, cuz, but
No, you good, bro.
nigga was talking about the gaps and shit between Luca and Kyrie and Jaylen Brown and bruh, Kyrie, like that. Luca is a fucking stat machine. Jason Tatum ain't no stat machine like that. Like, this is why
Hmm.
context matters. Like, you know what I'm saying? The gap is still the gap. Like, motherfucking the gap look crazy on paper, but that's because Kyrie is willingly conceding to Luka Doncic, whereas Jaylen
Correct.
Brown is not willingly doing shit.
Correct.
You know
Correct.
what I'm saying?
Just like
Like,
the OKC series, like Kyrie was like, there were games where he was only scoring 12 points, but it wasn't because he was off.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So
think I think Kyrie's all timeness. If y'all lose, it's gonna be because of Kyrie's all timeness, bro. It ain't gonna be because Luca gonna get them numbers and shit, but Kyrie gonna be in the moments. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, that's
Hmm.
what it's gonna be, and that's why I
And if he
said
and
I
even if
feel
he doesn't, Luca's going to get what he gets in the moment because
right,
of the attention
right,
Kyrie going to get.
exactly.
So it's like, bro, everything, and I hear what y'all saying. You know what I'm saying? Like Kyrie's all time in his experience. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And
Hmm.
it's like, bro,
I feel what
I'm
you're saying too,
still
though.
really not
I feel
trying
what
to
you're saying.
hear that
Yeah,
though.
no,
Like,
I feel what you're
I'm
saying
not
too.
trying to hear that.
I feel that too.
Man.
That's the
We
perception you're
can't
supposed to
let
have.
them on their
Yeah,
first try too. We've
yeah.
already been
Already
here.
been
They've
here.
never
Yeah,
been to a jump. You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Mhm.
We can't let that slide, bro.
No, I feel
That's
that.
just hard,
So
Yeah,
what
you
difference
right
do
though.
y'all think? What difference do you all think there is between a conference finals and a finals?
The
Bro, the
one
best.
means
You
one.
know, because
And
Luca's been to a conference finals before. Like, you know what I mean? Like and as y'all would say, he ran into the Warriors, which was the year that Golden State beat Boston. So it's not like he's necessarily a new kid on the block either.
but he don't get that same kind of treatment as Tatum though.
Correct. He doesn't. And we know why.
You know what I'm saying? Like that be the shit that I don't fuck with, bro. Like that's why I get to like go ahead and finish your point, y'all point too.
No, that was
Oh,
that was
you
all I
good,
had. Yeah, that was
bro. Oh,
all
you
I
good.
had to say.
Because after you finish, we're gonna wrap this joint up.
Yeah, that's all. I ain't had nothing else to say. Boston and 6, man.
Hmm.
So yeah, bro. I like to see Boston in 6. If it goes 7, they like I said, they feel like Kyrie gonna take over. But if it goes to 7, I feel like we gonna see
A
Jason
different
Tatum.
Jason. Yeah.
I feel like we're gonna see like a Phoenix kind of joint. Like he definitely gonna go Super Saiyan or like up his
Hmm.
power level a little bit. You
At
know
least
what
a
I'm
nigga
saying?
hope. At least a nigga. That's all the nigga can hope. You know what I'm
Ah,
saying?
bro.
And,
Like,
and and that's what I want if I'm Dallas. That's what I want.
yeah, because you trust
Like
in what you got.
You know what I
so,
mean? I
I feel
want to
like
see Jason Tatum do it. Like not from the standpoint of I don't think he can do it, but like Adam said earlier,
yeah,
Jason Tatum's that's not his style per se. You know what I mean? So to some degree, there's a level of discomfort that would have to come with him playing that way as well.
yeah, bro. So, yeah, guys, god dang, we got about 5 minutes until game time. It is Thursday. You already know the hot box is back on Friday. I am Styrofoam Ralph. This was Cups in the game. You already know I have my dog with me, one half of Sports Reports as order 2-5. Mike Will reporting in the motherfucking hot box, and my dog LA Way AD in the
Yes, sir.
motherfucking hot box, and live in the booth, my dog Bleed Blue Nap Nation
Yo.
for the shoe Jay Lethal. I'm Styrofoam Rob. You can catch the hot box every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We love y'all so much. Smoke with us, man.